right, sorry, get back to Melissa in a moment. I actually have one other story that we have right now from the trucking industry. You know, we've talked a lot about Tyson Foods and the company warning of an additional meat plant closure that could happen this year, and the kind of wider impact of that. In fact, the president's talked about it as well. The impact on the supply chain. How much will you end up paying when you're buying meat? Well, we're joined now from JKC Trucking by co-owner and vice president Mike Kucharski. And Mike, you know, it's interesting. Your industry, when all this started, we're talking about how things had, picked up because that was one of the things people needed truckers to get items from place to place. I know your business in particular relies, though, quite heavily on the meat industry, if I'm not mistaken. So tell us how all this news with the closures of these plants is impacting things.
Well, since COVID-19, everything has changed over the spectrum of transportation of food in America, and it's most likely forever. These meat closure plants are affecting a lot of supply chain, the distribution centers. It is when the meat plant closes, to just give you kind of a meat 101, meat's processed. First it goes to slaughter, then it goes to processing, then it goes to packing, then it goes to distribution. And if there's any break in that chain, it slows the whole thing down before it ends up on the shelf for you guys for the consumer to buy.
Mm-hmm. You're one of the key links, right, in that chain. People, we overuse that term, supply chain, and then kind of explaining how it works involves your business, obviously. And what struck me about what you just said is that some of these changes are permanent. So how are you adjusting?
We're adjusting multiple ways. So these plants are shutting down, but they're also getting a deep clean and reopening too. We're adjusting by taking lanes that we've never gone to before, taking an extra business that we couldn't handle before, and then we're just waiting for everything to get back up online slowly. I think these plants reopening is going to be definitely the foundation to get the economy going and the food supply chain.
Let me get your sense more broadly on the economy and the reopening. We've done almost every story on the show now the last week or so has been to some degree about how the country's going to get back to business, how we're going to reopen, and what have you. What are you and your workers noticing out on the roads? Remember, maybe a month ago or so, you had the whole road to yourself the way it was, right? Are things picking up? Is the economy? Do you notice across the country changes taking place in real time?
So a couple of weeks ago, just to give you guys an idea, the food service industry was dead. Overnight, the food service industry came to a screeching halt. All food distributors, cut and run due to all the restaurants being closed, the hotels, the casinos. Our weekly volumes have fallen 50%, and rates have fallen up to 54% in the refrigerated sector. To give you guys an idea, the worst was Easter week. Our volumes were down 50%. The week after that, they went up. They uptick about another 10%, and then 2 weeks after that, they came up another 5%. Slowly, it's coming back, but with these plants shutting down, I think there's going to be another dip. But we're going to recover and get back to business, hopefully, soon.
You need a bridge to get you there? I mean, you tapped into PPP, didn't you, in the Paycheck Protection Program? And if so, has that helped? And what have you done in terms of headcount and the like? Have you had to lay people off yet?
So, yes, we did get PPP. PPP has been keeping JKC running, so we can service our customers and the Americans. So far we've been lucky. We haven't had to let any of our workers go. We also kept every single employee and have not cut pay so far.
All right, and that can continue for how long, do you think?
That's a good question. I would say another couple months. Maybe sooner, depending on what's going to happen with the economy. The key thing is that,
of course, in the reopening, yeah.
The industry is down, but JKC keeps on going. Meat is in the blood that pumps through JKC, but we need to. The goal is to keep the trucks running. We need to get these plants up and the economy back up and running.
All right, Mike, we wish you all nothing but the best, and thank you. It's valuable insights as we try to figure out what's really going on around the country. Mike Kucharski, JKC Trucking is the company. Melissa.